consider that with my ongoing exposures of Devices Police, Devices Police have attempted to come up with a solution which involves framing me indeed. They are keeping Cass Lynch of Calne, i.e., PC Joseph Lynch of Devices Police, in a secret facility somewhere in Wiltshire. And he's occasionally let out to commit really heinous acts of rape, murder, and necrophilia on toddlers. Indeed, what the British police are trying to do is corrupt the truth of this activity and then cast the blame on me for the crimes of Cass Lynch, which is all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Cass Lynch, i.e., PC Joseph Lynch of Devices Police, who is also an initiate of the 764 network, an Order of Nine Angles hierarchy member, is being kept in a secret facility somewhere in the countryside. Indeed, supposedly his greatest fantasy is to rape, torture, murder, fuck my dead body, and eat me, which is all very interesting to consider. Indeed, what is wrong with these neo-Nazi Satanists? There's something seriously wrong with them. These, as I've stated, the majority of the population of Devices are neo-Nazi Satanist child rapists, so it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this is all interconnected with the organ trade. Indeed, several of the so-called local gangsters who are actually police informants and members of neo-Nazi Satanic ritual child abuse networks also like to fuck the organs after they've been harvested before they're sold via the Albanian mob's links to the Russian mob. Indeed, the GRU are overseeing all of this, and the Russian state is making a very tidy profit from all of the activities I explained in the previous video. So it's all very interesting to note the interconnectivity between Devices Police and the Russian state. So it's all very interesting to consider that. Indeed, British intelligence hold a percentage in the organ traffic in Wiltshire, though not as much as individual private citizens in Devices themselves. It's interesting, but it is all overseen in various stages by British intelligence, who are themselves reportedly working on an agenda with Russian scientists to mutate the human brain into a specific cyborg function. Indeed, this is interconnected to the Orchids network, which itself interconnects to the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop via the simulacra private owner of Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop, Vincent Melwood Rose, who is reportedly the true father of Cass Lynch, i.e. PC Joseph Lynch of Devices Police. So it's all very interesting how all of this links up. Indeed, apparently, my ESP credentials are scaring the Calne public. However, I do not care. Indeed, Calne police are attempting to keep the identity of Cass Lynch, i.e. PC Joseph Lynch, safe, because he was moved from the Rochdale area to Calne under special police supervision after he raped 17 toddlers at a primary school in a small town near Rochdale. So it's all very interesting to consider. Calne police do not want this information leaking onto the internet. However, I do not care. So very interesting indeed. As I stated, the Calne police networks are direct appendages of Devices Police and operate in tandem with Devices Police on the organ circuit. Indeed, various safe houses for organs are located in Calne, interconnected with the butcher shop network operating out of Devices, i.e. Walter Rose and Sons butcher shops, vans pulling up outside kebab shops in Calne and delivering organs to the patrons there. So it's all very interesting to consider how all of this interconnects. Indeed, the charcoal grill in Caen is heavily interconnected with this organ circuit, despite certain patrons not wishing to be involved. However, they have been forced at gunpoint by Albanian mobsters to be involved in a trade that is ever increasing. Indeed, the frequency of homeless being kidnapped off the streets of Britain is increasing. This is because the Freemasons of Wiltshire are scared of exposure and are therefore increasing the sacrifice rate so that they can basically summon their demonic messiah and stop these exposures. So basically, my exposures are causing the Freemasons to sacrifice more innocent souls. However, this is the way that the Russian mental patients said it would happen. And they told me I had to keep going ahead with it no matter how many sacrifices the butcher Freemasons would engage in. Indeed, they told me I had to do this at all costs to expose Devizes Police and the towns of Devizes and Caen for what they are. They are organ harvesting, ritual sacrifice network locations, interestingly located next to a energy grid, i.e. the Avebury Stone Circle. Indeed, there's a reason why there are so many crop circle proliferations, etc. in that region. Indeed, this is a energy harvesting point, and the populations of Devizes and Caen are abusing this energy harvesting point for their own necrophilia purposes. It is all very interesting. This is black magic in action. Operative for a Devizes police ring that would do anything to stop me exposing these networks. Indeed, they are having regular ceremonies in Wiltshire, especially Devizes and Caen, but also Warminster, where they are discussing what to do about me and my exposures of these towns. Indeed, it seems that the Warminster police want to shut me down for exposing PCSO Holcomb for what he is, i.e. a baby rapist. Indeed, they are attempting to charge me with libel. However, this is farcical, considering any judge, even if the judge was a Mason, would probably laugh the case out of a court. Indeed, it's also quite difficult to bring a libel case in the United Kingdom, especially against a paranoid schizophrenic, as many people in Devizes and Caen have found out. Indeed, it's all very interesting to note the lengths that Devizes people and Caen people will go to stop me, including setting Cass Lynch, PC Joseph Lynch, of Devizes Police up in a special facility from where he is occasionally released into the public to rape children and murder people. Indeed, there was a guy of 33 years of age recently murdered in Caen by Cass Lynch. It is very interesting. Some of the people who have been disappearing and turning up dead in Wiltshire are being killed by Cass Lynch. Indeed, this guy is a creep. And he's operative for the organ harvesters of the Azov Battalion, operating out of Ukraine, who have a vested interest in seeing me killed for exposing the fact they were organ harvesting in the Donetsk Basin with the Albanian mob. Indeed, when I mentioned that to Cass Lynch in a private conversation, he immediately told his Azov Battalion commander, which began surveillance of me by Ukrainian intelligence as well as the GRU, who are deeply interconnected with the Albanian mob's organ trade. So it's very interesting to consider the fact that the Azov Battalion in Ukraine are up to their necks in organ harvesting from that conflict zone. Indeed, the whole Donetsk Basin is a large organ harvesting factory organized by networks of criminals from the Soviet Union, Albania, Romania, and Britain. So it's all very interesting to consider what is really going on in Donetsk. Indeed, this is a false conflict, as both sides are operating enormous organ harvesting schemes out of the conflict zone and selling body parts, etc. It's really quite scary what is going on. Indeed, there is a mass depopulation going on of Slavs in that region by networks of paramilitaries connected to Aryan faction operations. As I've been explaining, many Russians and Ukrainians are now seeing themselves as Aryans rather than Slavs and are attempting to wipe out the Slavic factions in those territories. Indeed, this conflict is all being built up by British, American, German, and French intelligence services. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this links to the operative status of the Gladio 4 program in the territory of eastern Ukraine. Indeed, the national anarchist movement have a direct link to this through Troy Southgate's network operating in the region through an operative called Ben Marsh, who is operative for the national anarchist movement via networks of Azov battalion proxies. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, he is a Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst Kamala faction operative and operating for British police interests also. Indeed, Ben Marsh is a British citizen. I'm not entirely sure whereabouts in the United Kingdom he's from, but he's connected to networks called the Gravediggers and the Ubiquitous Cemetery Network, which interconnects us back to a certain individual operating for the Devizes Police Networks in Wiltshire, i.e. PC Joseph Lynch of Devizes Police, better known to the public as Cass Lynch or Cassius Lynch. Indeed, it's very interesting that this guy was going to go and fight in Ukraine because he thought he could rape Russian toddlers. So it's all very interesting. The real reason that PC Joseph Lynch of Devizes Police, better known to the public as Cass Lynch or Cassius Lynch, wanted to go to fight in Donetsk for the Azov battalion because he wanted the opportunity to rape Russian toddlers. This is all very interesting to consider. Indeed, that conflict seems to be attracting a lot of really terrible people. Of course, the maniac murder cult are operative there, but also the Nordic resistance movement, various other parallel networks such as the Swedenborgian Revival, which is a Masonic interlinked network operative for cannibalism tendencies among paramilitaries and troops within both the Russian and Ukrainian forces. Indeed, this Swedenborgian Revival network is a key Illuminist network attempting to revive cannibalistic tendencies among Russians and Ukrainians. So it's really quite terrifying, the truth of that conflict. Indeed, the death toll is far higher than we're being told. So it's all quite scary. Indeed, all of this directly interconnects to Wiltshire through networks of private intelligence agencies, through networks such as the Defence Industrial Security Command equivalent in Britain, i.e. FXR or FSR. I'm not entirely sure what this network is called, but they are a private munitions company chartered by a Westinghouse network, i.e. a British military intelligence capacity. This network, FSR or FXR, I can't remember, is operative in Ukraine, summoning demonic spirits on battlefields, attempting to cause as much chaos and confusion as possible, so that people on either side of the conflict go mad and start cannibalizing each other. Indeed, a lot of this is also done in tandem with psychotronic beaming and psychotronic weaponry, which is causing chaos for the troops of both sides. Indeed, there are many new weapons technologies being carried out being tested out by FSR in the Donetsk Basin. Indeed, this British private intelligence network, FSR, connected to the Defence Industrial Security Command networks, i.e. the Munitions Intelligence Service, are basically operating a weapons testing laboratory in Ukraine, utilizing plasma beams and various setups of psychotronic radiation weaponry and psychotronic microwave weaponry, attempting to induce cancer and cannibalism in the local populations of both Russian and Ukrainian descent. So it's interesting indeed, these networks are working in tandem with Aryan factions of Ukrainian intelligence and Russian intelligence to complete this depopulation agenda in eastern Ukraine. The point of which is to repopulate the region with Khazars, who are themselves not Hebrew, but Aryan. Indeed, the Khazars are Aryan. The majority of the Israeli population have heard this theory. Indeed, the Khazars are being kept underground in Wiltshire, ready to populate the region of eastern Ukraine and other parts of Eastern Europe. Indeed, there are several population demographics that the British and German intelligence services, i.e. the Anglo-German cryptocracy, wish to exterminate in a new Holocaust, including 60% of Israeli Jews. So it's interesting to consider. And these Khazars are being kept in laboratories and special facilities in Wiltshire, such as the underground labyrinthine system beneath Porton Down, ready to populate Eastern Europe once the new Holocaust is complete, basically. Indeed, Eastern Europe is going to be turned into fighting statelets, all with different warlords, all with different allegiances to different intelligence agencies of different nations, all connected to Aryan factions. It's interesting that the Khazars are the majority percentage of Jews in the United States. So it's all very interesting to note. The majority in Israel are Hebrews, supposedly, so it's interesting to consider that. Indeed, the Khazars are Aryan, so it's all very interesting to note that. However, the political elite in Israel are Khazars, so they are Aryans. They are not Hebrews, and they are operative for the neo-Nazi Fourth Reich. So it's all very interesting. This Aryan temple Illuminism ideal is going to be implemented all over Eastern Europe in the coming years, utilizing Aryan factions within Eastern European intelligence services who refuse to see themselves as Slavs or Romanians and instead see themselves as Aryans. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider the influence that the British and American Vadio 4 program is having in Eastern Europe, attempting to create neo-Nazi terrorist networks that then terrorize Slavic, Gypsy, and Hebrew commoner populations. Indeed, one of the main targets of all of these networks is mental patients. Indeed, when the Nazis conquered Poland and Russia, they exterminated the entire mental patient population of the territories they occupied. So it's very interesting to consider how this is working out. Indeed, Cass Lynch loathes me for being mentally ill, which is interesting considering he was always claiming he was mentally ill. I always told him he wasn't, that his problems were caused by slight autism and inbreeding. He's not a psychotic with extrasensory perception like me, though he wants to be for some reason, but he loathes me for being the way I am. So the British police have installed him in a secret facility that also contains Khazars, interestingly, who are being built up for repopulating the Eastern European regions. Indeed, Kaslint is a neo-Nazi satanic terrorist, operative for 764, i.e. Satanic Ritual Child Abuse Network, and is raping children all over the country as part of an agenda whereby the British police can blame his crimes on me. Basically, this whole series of exposures would end. So it's all very interesting to consider. So I need to get the information out about this as quickly as possible, so that the information is in the public domain, so that this doesn't happen. Indeed, once something is put into the public domain, the intelligence services start having to rethink their strategy. But it's all very interesting. Indeed, I believe they are becoming mighty angry with me for continuing to expose the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, on the topic of which I believe Michael Shrimpton is an operative of Devises Police. So I also believe he's protected by Devises Police for some reason. Indeed, I'm also very suspicious of that whole network of which are conspiracy theorists connected to Miles Johnston, i.e. the creator of the Basis Project. I'm very suspicious of these guys and their connections to Devises Police. So I'm going to leave it there now. I'm very suspicious of everyone. Indeed, I'm going to leave it there.